In a world filled with chaos and uncertainty, find peace, guidance, inspiration, and wisdom with Abdul Fattah Adeyemi's official app.
Marriages do three things to us, and a person's choice of marriage and what a person does in that marriage will be determined by which of these three things lured the person to the marriage, or which of these three things actually happened to the person while the person is in the marriage. Number one, your marriage may define you. Define. Number two, your marriage may confine you. And number three, your marriage may refine you. What is define? Define is to examine or ascertain your character, to depict who you are, to categorize you, sometimes to classify you. That's why you see a woman will want to marry to a family of people who are classy, so that the classiness, let me put it that way, of that marriage is going to rub off on her. And you see a woman want to marry people from rich class, so to speak, or people from upper class, because she's looking for definition. She wants to define her life. Some men also, they look for ladies of certain cadre in society, because that marriage is to define them. They are looking for definition of their identity in that marriage. Sometimes it is to color you, to identify you, to indicate who you are or what you are capable of achieving, to name you. You see, you adopt the name of that family. You say, I'm married to the family of so and so. Or sometimes to specify you, sometimes to distinguish you from other women, or to individualize you, give you that sense of uniqueness, or to particularize you, to say, I belong to a particular kind of class of family. It may be the family of religious people, family of scholars, family of learned people. So, royal family, yes, you want to be addressed as Her Royal Highness, or you want to be addressed as the Queen, or you want to be addressed as the husband of the Queen. Well, some people want to do that. They say, okay, your wife is a commissioner for so and so, or you want to say, yes, my wife is a deputy governor, something like that. Some people actually make that plans, and they go into marriages in order to lend a definition to their lives. Sometimes these definitions are positive, sometimes the definitions are not so wholesome. But bear in mind, sometimes your marriages may define who you are. The same thing when it comes to religious aspects. Your marriages define your religiosity. Sometimes it defines whether you follow the Sunnah or not, and sometimes it defines what exactly you want to contribute to the society. This definition, some people never thought it was so important until when they eventually enter into a marriage. Some plan for it, they scheme for it, they look out for it, and they ensure they get it. Some allow it to go by accident. They never cared, they never bothered who they were marrying or what they were in for, or they use certain criteria that are so ephemeral and that is not definitive of who they are. By the time they enter into a relationship, they see that they even lose the identity they had and they don't have any new one. They become so amorphous. Their identities are not defined anymore to be anything or anyone in particular. This is one of the biggest mistakes some people make when it comes to marriage. You go into a marriage that doesn't have any definition, a marriage that doesn't have a center point or a focal point or a crux or a core, a marriage that doesn't have any goal, doesn't have any bearing, doesn't have any direction, a marriage that doesn't lend any particular definition to your life that is worth your while. And some people look at their wives and define her as mother of my children. Some women will look at their husband and define him as, okay, this is the person paying the school fees. What extra definition has your marriage lent to your life? What extra definition has your marriage made you to be? If you want to be amorphous, want to be formless, want to be goalless, want to be empty, you enter into a marriage that doesn't have any particular way of defining your life or particularizing your life or challenging a path for you to grow as an individual or as somebody that can contribute to the society. Your identity may be determined by a marriage that defines your life. Sometimes, like I said, this definition may be opposite to your own identity. That's where you see marital crisis. They want you to become who you don't want to become. They want to define you in ways that are not yours. And if such a marriage is bringing such definition that you are not familiar with or that you didn't plan for, that's not your life, then you see there will be crisis in that marriage. Let me mention the other ones, then we merge them all together. You also enter into a marriage and it's going to confine you. The first of them, marriage will either define you or sometimes it will confine you. This is one of the biggest mistakes some people make. You enter into a marriage and you are confined. What does it mean to be confined? It means you are limited in your growth. Sometimes it means you are restricted. You feel as if you are in a particular prison. You feel as if you are trapped. And you be like, how did I get here? So you are restricted, you are confined in the way you grow and the way you think. You are so confined to the extent that you get squeezed, you get cramped, and you get meagered. You get constricted, you get circumscribed, and then you become scanty, and sometimes you become petty. Sometimes you are straitened and you are so incapacious. That means you are not capable of doing things. In other words, marriages can confine. And finally, a marriage can refine you. How do you get refined by your marriage? It is like you are purified. It's like you are clarified. It's like you become clear. You become cleansed. You remember when they say you take some to refinery. When you take crude oil, you take it to refinery, you are able to separate the kerosene from the bitumen, spirits from the diesel. You are able to refine. You are able to refine, including some of those lower petroleum products. You are able to refine the petrol and you get the real pure petrol that can actually be useful for something. Crude oil as a whole, you can't use it because it's going to be mixed up. Yes, it's too raw, but you have to bring out what you need from it. So you will be refined, you become cleansed, you become sifted, you become filtered. Sometimes you become rarefied. That means you become rare. You are not common anymore. Sometimes you become distilled. You remember this one we used to do in chemistry? Yes, sometimes we achieve a concentrate of you. You remove all the shafts, you remove all the turfs, you remove all the surf, you remove all the ladders, you remove all the foams. We get to your concentrate. Some marriages will actually refine you to the extent that you become concentrate. Yes, you achieve at the maximum level. And then to refine you is to process you. You get processed to become a person of candor. You become refined and processed to become a person of honor, a person of purity, a person of dignity, a person of respect. You get treated, and impurities in you get burnt off. Sometimes you get rectified when you are in a family or a home that is there to refine you. If you are not married and you are going to marriage, seek a marriage that will refine you, that will bring out the best in you, that will bring out the scholarship in you if you are scholarly inclined, that will bring out the business, acumen in you if you are inclined towards business, that will bring out, the chief executive in you, that will bring out the politics in you if that is your slant. You got to be observant of the marriages you go into, or observant of what exactly your marriage is doing to you. So you got to look towards being refined in your marriage. That is where your strength lies. When you are refined, you become stronger, you become better, and you're able to achieve more than ordinary. And that's why I say you are going to become rarefied. And Allah Akbar, purity will now become your definition. It's going to become your new normal. Allah Akbar. This is very essential. And the same thing with the adabs of Islam, with the good characters of Islam. It's supposed to refine us, make us to become civilized, make us to become better people, make us to become better behaved. The believers of early generations, they understood that Islam was to refine them. So they submitted to be refined by Islam. They submitted themselves to the refinery of Islam. And that is why in everything they did, everything was towards istihsan, everything was perfect. Now you are beginning to see where the strength of the Ummah lies. The strength of the Ummah lies in what we make of the families. Either it defines us, or it confines us, or it refines us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Download the Abdel Fattah DME app now and start your journey to a more meaningful, purpose-driven life. Available for free on the App Store and Google Play. Join the community. Transform your life. Edit your universe.